My name's Roberta Werbaneth, and our house is a split entry. We've lived in it since 1967 when it was first built. We've been the only owners, so we've had all the opportunities to find out what needed to be done and what needed to be changed and what we liked. I realized several years ago, in fact, that those old double doors that were in this house originally were really in bad shape. And I kept looking around. Being a walker in the neighborhood, I checked to see what other people had put in their houses and wanted to see, for instance, which way the door should swing and so forth, and whether I should get a storm door. And finally, I started looking at some of the big box stores. I had gone to Home Depot and had spent many hours in there working with different people. They were all helpful, but somehow or other I would have felt better to have one person to talk to. And it got to the point that they were cutting the dimension of the door and everything in order to get it in, and it wasn't quite what I wanted. So I called Metropolitan because, frankly, I was very tired of all the trips to the stores that are a distance from my home. And I tried another big box store on my way back one day from Home Depot, and that was less than overwhelming, to say the least. So really, I felt that I had spent enough time on this, wasted enough time probably, and was educated enough that I knew what I needed, and I realized I needed a custom job from a very, very reliable company. Well, from the beginning when I called, I was so pleased because Maggie answered the telephone, and we had a lovely chat, and she got the background and was so nice to me and really made me feel good that I had called Metropolitan in the first place, because I think the first impression is important. And I told Maggie from the beginning I had worked for a very reputable window replacement company for 23 years. And I knew what we had done to make our customers happy. And everything just went along with exactly what I expected when I talked to everyone. Working with Metropolitan Windows salesmen was really a wonderful experience, because Metropolitan sent a guy out here who walked me right through the process. It was simple. It was right here in my home. There was no running out to another store every time there was a question and hoping the person I talked to would be there. I could get in touch with Guy if I had a question, and I did. And he worked through to get the door in the right proportions, worked with the factory, worked with me, and explained it to me the whole way along the line. Everything about him was just really professional, and I couldn't say enough for it. I was so satisfied when he left here and had a signed order, because I knew I was going to get a good product from Metropolitan Windows, and I knew that no matter what the problem was, Guy would take care of it. So that I ended up with a perfect product. I can't find one thing wrong with this door, and that bugs me, because I pick and I pick, and I can't find anything. Metropolitan's installer, who became my installer, was Bob. And Bob works like a surgeon when he is installing a door. He took out the old doors and got them out of there, and there was no debris the whole time he was working. Everything was so clean and so perfect, and he acted almost like a surgeon. I couldn't stop watching him, and I hope I didn't bother him too much, but it was really a joy to watch a man who loves his work and is a real true craftsman. Everything was perfect. Every tool was laid out and just in order as the way he needed it. He put the door unit in just absolutely perfect. Every detail was just, it had to be right or he didn't do it. And the last thing that he did, and the most important as far as I was concerned, was the caulking, which could make or break the whole installation. And he is almost an artist, I would say. And Bob was a true craftsman, and everything about the work that he did was perfect. Everything was level, everything was clean, everything was just so perfect, and his caulking is just a picture in itself. It was just everything. I keep saying perfect, but that is exactly the job that he did. I think probably the most important thing when you ask yourself, what is important about my house? I think the entryway is. And definitely any real estate person would probably tell you that the entryway is the most important part of a house when they are showing a house to a client. And I am sure that this new door unit has done something so wonderful to this house. It has changed the whole look of the house, and yet it fits in with the rest of the components, such as the windows, the brick, the railings, especially the railings. As old as they are, the design in the railing really blends with the design in the door. You know what I forgot to tell you before while we were talking? I talked about the outside and the impression that the new ProVia Entry Door made on people. It's what it has done to the inside of my house that is just astounding, and even more remarkable than the exterior, if that's possible. That entryway, being at the bottom of 6 steps, was like a dark hole. There was no light coming in at all, and no matter what I did, it was dark, and it made a different impression. When you walked in, you just weren't very happy with the whole situation. Now, with this new ProVia door, it's just like a whole other world. You walk in and you think, oh, how bright, how beautiful. This is nice. And I am so pleased with this ProVia door that I got from Metropolitan. I cannot tell you how happy it makes me, because the inside of my house has been completely renovated just by putting that door in. There's light streaming in now, and yet I have the privacy that I was afraid I would lose by putting glass in the door. And everything is just, it's almost like putting a spotlight on the house. It made the entire first floor look bigger just by getting those dark doors out of there and putting this beautiful, beautiful new ProVia door in. And getting it from Metropolitan was the best move that I've made. Well, the one thing I guess that I think is most important about Metropolitan Window is the fact that they really care. They care about how they act, how they treat the customer, the product that they are offering to the customer, and the services. And I'm sure that I can call them at any time, talk to any one of the people there, and get an answer. I won't have to wait. I won't have to get in my car and go somewhere to see them. I can find them. I know they'll always be there when I need help, if I need it. I doubt if I'm ever going to have a problem, but you never know. There could be a small problem. Someone could mark up the door or break a piece of glass, and I'm confident that they will take care of it for me. But they care. That's the main thing. They have a reputation that they've built, and they want to keep it. And I think they would do anything to keep that reputation and never have anything against it, because they have a very good rating with the Better Business Bureau, and I checked them out on the internet, and I couldn't find any complaints about them. And I think it all springs from the one point that they care about their customers, about their product that they're offering. So I really think caring is the most important thing you can have, because everything else really works off that one word, and Metropolitan cares. I would certainly recommend Metropolitan Windows to anyone, whether it's family, friends, or neighbors. In fact, I have already told several neighbors who inquired that they should call Metropolitan, because they would get a perfect job, just as I did. And I told Bob as he was installing the ProVia door that he should have left the sign on the lawn much longer, because the neighbors wanted to know who the company was that installed this beautiful door unit. So yes, I would definitely recommend Metropolitan Window, the ProVia door, and everyone who worked on this project with me, because I am completely satisfied, and I'm picky.